Ladies and gentlemen, please watch Simon as he finishes this Twizzler. We're not going to start until he finishes.
This is going to be a problem. I just quit smoking, so I'm going to be housing these Twizzlers the whole fucking time.
Oh my god!
Is
Well,
that
I quit
is that
2
like
days ago.
the meta for quitting smoking? Is
I have no
Twizzlers?
idea. I just like I know it's a 2-part thing. Part of it is like the nicotine addiction, and the second part is shoving a thing in my mouth. So like,
Yeah.
if I can find something that's not a vape to put in my mouth, like I've also got beef snacks ready to go.
Okay, so you're gonna have some snackage during the show.
Oh yeah, I
Sure.
apologize in advance, boys. It's
Covering the
for
whole
my health.
food pyramid.
Yeah.
Does it have to be phallic in nature, like the shape of the thing that you're shoving?
That
in
is
your
just pure coincidence. Now that you bring it up, but these are the meat sticks I always have.
Yeah.
Like having nothing to do with like quitting smoking. These are the Twizzlers I always have. It's just like I don't normally sit and like go through an obscene amount of them.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, another episode of the Good Keyboard Friends podcast. Before we introduce our 2 amazing guests, 1 guest co-host and 1 actual guest, you quit smoking 2 days ago, Simon?
Well, vaping. I mean, technically,
Vaping.
I quit smoking when I was like 26, 27.
Yeah.
Because
Congratulations.
that's where the line is for like your lungs actually being able to like regenerate and whatnot.
Hmm.
But I was told by multiple doctors, they're just like, bro, you got to stop smoking. And this was after I'd reduced my nicotine intake by a lot.
Yeah.
I was at 50 milligram. I dropped it down to 3 milligram. And I had a test on Friday where I had to like not have any caffeine or any nicotine for 8 hours prior to the test. And I was like, well, it only takes like a couple days for your body to just like not be addicted to nicotine anymore. This is 8 hours of it. I may as well just like finish it off.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Damn.
The caffeine would get me. Caffeine is my drug.
I've learned the secret to caffeine, and the secret to caffeine is if your body expects it at a specific time and you give it to your body the same time, you're dicking yourself over every time. You got to surprise your body a little. So like on days you got to go without like the morning coffee. It fucking sucks, but you gotta, and it makes it so like the coffee always works. I haven't had morning coffee today.
No, yeah.
I normally have it at like 5, 6 a.m., like super, super early. And that's after I'd been awake for like 4 hours anyways, but no coffee.
Yeah.
If Kate wakes up, I'll ask for some coffee though.
Yeah, I Pavlov myself too far. I drink coffee every morning.
Oh man. Well, for the audio listeners, you may not see this, but our distinguished guest, Farhan, he has. Is that a coffee? Is that a mug? Is that like a super fancy mug? Because it
That
looks
looks like
legit.
a vase.
Yeah. So, actually, for a friend's bachelor party, we got him. This was like we all got like monogrammed coffee mugs as like our gift. So we got him one, and then I got myself one, and it's his wood color. It's really nice. I like it a lot because I have this problem where I make coffee and then I just zone out for 2 hours or something, or like go enter some sort of void for an unseen amount of time. And so when I come back to my coffee, it's ice cold, and I don't really like iced coffee. So this keeps it hot for as long as I need it to be.
Well, tell us your coffee making process. What do you do? Do you do a pour over or?
I do, yeah. So, and this is actually, it's funny you say that because before I had entered Tex Mechs, like the Texas keyboard organization, I was like, I mean, I would take a K-cup and grind it up and snort it like that. Like a just really obscene, horrible coffee behavior. But then once I met, like, there's a lot of people in Tex Mechs who are really passionate about coffee and who are really passionate about like proper coffee. And so, but I have a really basic setup. I have like the Hario, like the pour over switch, the V60 switch, and I do. So I just do a standard pour over. I have a coffee grinder at home. Beans.
What are you grinding with?
I don't really have that's the thing is I don't really have like a strong preference yet for beans. And so right now I think I just have some Costco beans that I got. They're actually not bad. I like a really strong dark coffee. Very bitter, not bitter, but like very, very bold. And yeah, I don't really put anything in it. It's always black. So it's my preference.
Oh man.
So you just like pain instead of like actual like good coffee.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the gist that I got, like darker, suspiciously the unreferenced grinder type.
Yes. Oh yeah. The grinder itself, I'll have to pull it out. Well, I would pull it out, but now I am now tethered to my PC. So I'll send you a picture of it.
Dude, that's amazing. Someone who also is a big coffee enthusiast, someone that I wrangled because I knew that he would enjoy talking to Farhan because he's not only a Texan, but he has a reflection and he's just a good dude. Warhopper is here. What is your coffee making method? Because you said when I sent you the meeting invite that you were making coffee as well.
Oh man, I'm still on the pleb end. I do the drip coffee. I do grind my beans, but I just have like the food processor, and I just stick them in there, and just like once they're like a nice enough powder that you could like snort that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. For like, if you're willing to put in like $150 into just a V60 funnel and like a good enough like proper grinder that like isn't gonna have wild variances in like actual grain size, and you do taste that, I guarantee you your coffee drinking experience will change overnight. You will become a completely different person. Because I started with just fucking drip coffee. Like I'd buy like Lavazza coffee because like it's good enough coffee. It's pre-ground. I'd put it in my drip coffee maker. This was way back when. Until eventually I'm like, you know what? I may as well like grind my own beans. So originally I had just like a terrible fucking grinder, but it was fresh beans. And when you grind the beans fresh, it makes a huge ass difference. I mean, that's like the biggest thing. But then the second biggest thing is like good temperature control and good grind size control. And with that, you want a decent kettle and you want, a decent enough grinder that's not going to be all over the place. But oof, once you really dial it in, damn, I really want coffee now. Shit.
Yeah, we're actually employed by Big Coffee to get you to come back to caffeine.
What do you mean come back? I never left. I just didn't have coffee this morning.
Oh, sure.
If there are any,
I got catnapped.
Well, if there are any coffee companies that want to support us, we will send everything that you sent to us to Warhopper so you can have an amazing setup. So please hit us.
Yeah, but we will only take sponsorships from coffee companies that start with the letter J. I don't know why, but like we're just committing to it.
I agree. What coffee company starts with J?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Jamba Juice.
Yeah, coffee adjacent at least.
Oh God. Well, I want to introduce our guest. I have known Farhan only from the reflection, and then I dug deep into his past, into his Discord, and to his Geek Hack post. He's been in the hobby for quite some time. The reflection is not the first board that he's designed or even sold. Did it all start with the Han 60, like the OG version 1?
Yeah. So it was an interesting story. I kind of started the hobby around like early COVID time. So I'm sure most of you have been around at least that long, or if I'm sure longer. Yeah. There's the post, and so yeah, this is. I would say, like, when I look back at this design and when I think about it a lot, like from a design perspective, there's a lot of things that I think went wrong, like from the first one, and not like because of the final product, but if I go back, and if you're familiar with like CAD programs or anything, if I try to change even one single chamfer in this model, I think my computer will blow up and it'll shoot a hole in the side of my house. That's how like I think poorly, I don't want to say design, but I want to say like design managed this kind of stuff is. And so it was just really like I got into the hobby through a friend. He was like, hey, you want to build this keyboard? Like it comes in a kit. You should try building it with me. And I was like, hey, that sounds really stupid. I don't really want to do that. And then he bought me one anyways. And it was like a YMDK 75, like one of those like AliExpress, Alibaba type boards.
I was low key waiting for you to say James Donkey. You were real close. You were real close.
And so I bought that board. It was a 75. And so I bought it, I built it, and I was like, wow, you know what? This is actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. And then it was pretty quickly after that I think I got into designing keyboards, which in hindsight, I probably should have spent a little bit more time in the consumer side and like figuring out all that kind of stuff. But it was a fun process, and I have a little bit of a background in CAD design. I have like an engineering background, nothing like crazy to where it would be like, okay, I know exactly how to do this. So it was a really big learning curve, I think, for that kind of stuff.
Don't say it, Hubert. Don't
you say it.
No. Don't be like, oh no, another engineer. We have another engineer posted. You guys know, do we have another engineer? Everyone's the engineer. Everyone. That's it. All that exists is engineers.
Yeah, the Venn diagram of keyboard people and engineers, it's got to be coming close to a circle. Yeah,
it's a triangle.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude! But like in 2021, this is not a unibody design. This is not like a back and neck or anything. This is a 2-piece 60% for $170. Well, is it in stock?
It was in stock, yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna shell out some cash and see what happens. And I think because of the market at the time, I think like this was when people were like stuck in their homes. Like you have nothing to do. You have money. Peak keyboards. Yeah.
Everything hit MOQ.
Right.
Everything hit MOQ.
Yeah. So like from, I put it out there, and I think the combination of it being cheap, the combination of people being socially isolated and needing some retail therapy to do, like it did fairly well. Like I think I bought like 60 units. I sold them all pretty quickly. So I think that was like the catalyst for me being like, okay, let me really get my feet wet into this kind of stuff. So
right. Before I get to the version 2 and then the reflection, when did you learn about Farhan Warhopper?
It got to be the Han V2 that I saw first on the Tex Mechs Discord. I think I missed that initial like COVID for the Tex Mechs Discord. I was on the 40s so bad back then that I missed all the like 60 stuff. And then Han V2 I think is when I started seeing your stuff around more.
Wait a second. For those of you that don't know, Warhopper has a bunch of amazing based big keyboards like XT, super cool keyboards. You started with 40%?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh. Well, I started with an Ergodox, and then it was like peak COVID, so it was so hard to buy stuff, and I was working overnight, so I'd miss like all the raffles. So 40% nobody wanted. So you could like hop on and like buy one of those. And I bought a Prime E from a guy, Holton, here.
Yeah. I know Holton.
Yeah.
He's not super active anymore in Tex Mechs. I haven't seen him around in a while. So
yeah, I think he finally retired this year, like just a couple months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, Simon, before I continue with Warhopper, is that the same person that we saw at Milwaukee? It's not, right? Different spelling, is it? We met is it a Holden or a Holton?
Did he use glasses? No. Holton is someone else.
Okay.
I think he goes by, what did he go? Prime KB? Was that his?
I think that was his shop. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's incredible.
I didn't realize that he was Texas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Damn. That's so cool, though. As someone who has used a 40% keyboard and enjoys it, right? Or you enjoyed it, or you wouldn't be using it, right?
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I mean, it was also like, there's also cope of like, this is all I can get.
Yeah.
At the time it was like, this could be more effective maybe. Like I drank the tea a little bit, and then as I used it, I was like, damn, I do wish I just had a number row and, you had an F row to the side.
A gust of wind blows and your keyboard goes flying.
Exactly.
Holy shit, man. He went from a smart car to a Ford F550. Like, this is amazing, dude. You've been from 40s all the way to huge keyboards. That's so cool. No wonder why you're so based, man. Like you try a lot of things out. You have many layout of keyboards and stuff. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'll try.
Did you ever say that in the previous episodes?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay. Fuck, dude. Well, so the Han V6, Han 60 V2. What were the main differences?
Yeah, so the V2 is an interesting story. I don't know if you saw this or if you delved into the Discord deep, but that one actually never fully ran. That one never did went into the group buy stage, and that's a good story, I think, from a designer perspective. And so the V2, I think, was that was when I was like, okay, now I feel like I properly understand how to do like CAD designs and make it so where if I change something, like things are not going to break, or it made a lot more sense. And I feel like I also followed like standard keyboard operating procedures a little bit more, so there's certain things, you take creative liberties on, but there's also like I every morning I would get up and check on AI03's keyboard atelier Discord server, and I would go in there, I'd ask questions, I'd look at other people's stuff, and so there's a lot of things that I was like, oh, that seems like it's like a hard requirement rather than like a suggestion like I was thinking it was. So um I think the V2 helped me understand that a little bit more. So it was a little bit different in its design, and I think it was also a lot more angular versus some of like the curves in the V1, and also just I think a little bit easier in terms of assembly. So like putting it together and thinking about all those kind of things for ease of end user. Um, but the reason it never ran was actually because of a kind of a quarrel I had with the manufacturer, and so I was using a different manufacturer at the time, that I sourced from online, and they were doing fine, and they would have some issues, I think, with specifically like the brass or copper materials. They just like were not having it. They weren't doing it properly, and I think back then I was a little bit more like naive too. I was like, oh, they'll get it. A couple more runs, they'll get it. And then every single time, like the prototypes that I have would always have at least one or two things wrong with it. And so I was like, okay, we'll get it the next time. We'll get it the next time. We'll get it the next time. And then all of a sudden one day he just kind of like radio silence for maybe like a month or two.
Oh no.
And then he finally reached out, and I had sent him this long message about like, hey, like, the quality control on these is really bad. Like, I would not be comfortable selling this to a customer. And then he was basically just like, sorry, that's the best we could do. And so at that point, I was already kind of like a little bit fed up with this manufacturer, but instead of like taking this design to a new manufacturer, I like started working simultaneously on a different design, the Reflection, and took that to a new manufacturer, just because like I still held on to like the sliver of hope that the old one would have come through for the V2. But at the end of the day, I think it was a safer and smarter decision to not put myself and like customers under that kind of stress of like having to deal with, subpar, performance and things like that. So,
I mean, is it truly part of like the keyboard like designer / group buy runner like timeline if you don't get dicked and have to basically refabricate a whole bunch of units in your first few runs?
Yeah, agreed.
Like everybody does the same thing, and they're just like, I'm going to be smart and have a slightly cheaper manufacturer. Surely everything will be okay.
Yeah. And
this is fine.
And I think even as a runner, like running a group buy, for me, I don't know how others feel. It's like there's a lot of anxiety I feel when I'm like running a group buy, because it's people's money, so that's like, and it's obviously a very sensitive thing when it's a lot of money, and in this hobby we all know it's always a lot of money, and so when it comes to like the group buy model also specifically, just holding people's money for that amount of time, and I know the three of you have seen how many of these have gone wrong, and in varying degrees of magnitude, where people, it's either goes from like a short rework to people straight up disappearing and leaving the hobby forever. So I think I definitely did not want to take any kind of risk to put myself in a situation like that. So
thank you for doing that, by the way.
Yeah,
I mean, you're always taking a risk. There's always a gamble as the group buy runner, because like I could be like the most amazing group buy runner of all time, but it's a gamble every time I am paying somebody to do a service, because it's out of my fucking hands.
Right.
At the end of the day, they could just do the entire fabrication like shit, refuse to fix it, not cooperate even if I like come at them legally, and then fucking what do you do?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then you hear stories of people trying to like charge back things in their credit cards, like, oh, so when did you buy this? I was like, 2.5 years ago. They're like, are you insane? Like, why would you not come to us sooner? So, yeah.
Did you sell the protos? Because I saw there was like a shipping update in the V2 channel.
I did, yeah. So the protos that I thought were good enough, which I labeled them as like B stock ones, but the ones that I thought were good enough to sell like at that cost, I sold them off, and I can't remember who exactly has them, but so they all, I think there were maybe like 8 or something of them, and they all got sold off. So there are a few V2s in the wild out there. I know a guy actually from Germany. He has one. He actually sends me regular updates of him, like messing with it and doing different mods to it and stuff, which is cool. So
damn, do you have one of the V2s, Warhopper?
No.
Okay. Dang. Was it like aesthetic issues, but the fitment was fine, or like they worked functionally, or what?
It was mainly aesthetic, but there were a couple. So that one had like a through weight that it went through the inner the inner structure of the keyboard and then poked out the back. And that always, every single time, no matter what dimensions I changed, it like seemed to never work right. Like it would be too loose, too tight. Like it was like a Goldilocks thing, and they're like, but we never hit the just right. And so I think also there was an element of getting better at engineering drawings. Like, I was doing all this kind of like, what do I need the drawings for? Like, they have the 3D model. But then, you start to realize like tolerances and specifications and those kinds of things are obviously very important to a manufacturer. So
question for the three of you. Are through weights more difficult to like get right in general?
To manufacture, no. A thinner weight is more problematic because you're going to have warping generally, or a more geometrically complex weight. A through weight is more geometrically complex than just a flat weight. So theoretically, if you've got a lot of radii and you're doing something like stainless, yeah, you could get blowouts and chipping and failures and shit like that. But I wouldn't say like I wouldn't avoid a through weight. I wouldn't be like, oh no, a through weight's going to be problematic.
Yeah, I think like I agree on like the geometry piece. Like, you see so many boards that have kind of like the sheet style of weight, right? And I think just because from a design perspective, and I think from like a cost perspective, like it's the easiest thing to CNC. Like it's very simple. And then when you get into like these through weights, you obviously have to account for like like it's not a flat piece because a keyboard isn't flat, right? It's at 7 degrees or 6-degree angle or even more. And so you have to kind of account for those kinds of things. But
okay. Have you noticed any boards that you've had, Warhopper, that with through weights that have any issues, like in general?
I can't think of any. I feel like by the time people run them and they're like pretty confident about it, they come out pretty good.
Yeah.
The only bad through weight I ever received was on the Skoj, which was the $140 knockoff Skog. They also did the Fanu. There was a private buy with MX Blue at the helm where we all got like custom engravings, and mine had an engraving of like a terrible MS Paint boat and then the word boat.
Oh, is that the canoe? Like the take on?
Yeah, the Fanu.
Yeah.
And I think that was like $130. They were so unbelievably god tier trash that like I looked at it. I'm like, I'm not building this. Like, it didn't fit together. Like, one of the corners was bashed in.
Oh.
The through weight was very clearly the wrong size, and I'm just like, yeah. So I just gave them both away. But yeah, I've seen a bad through weight, but it was at like that level of like, oh no.
Yeah. Shit, dude. But then I'm gonna say probably top 10 my boards ever. I've never had this. I've never touched. I've never tapped on it.
Anime betrayals.
Yeah. Number 1, no, the Reflection. Oh my fucking god, it's amazing. For people that don't know, Spooky out there, Spooky watches and listens to the podcast.
OG?
Yeah,
The OG Spooky?
no, GC, the Canadian one, the keycap guy. Yeah. Me and him and I, we and him together. Jack and me. We were gushing over the Reflection, like, holy fuck, this is amazing. And Warhopper has one, right, Warhopper?
Yeah, I have a beige one.
God.
Oh, nice.
Show us. You gotta show us.
Oh God, it's in the big pile.
God damn
I
it.
don't think I can
It's
get
in
it
the-
out.
Wait. I got it.
Uh,
Because he posted
he
it.
has a picture of it, right?
Yeah.
uh,
Well, I get it. Tell me why you bought the Reflection Warhopper. What spoke to you?
I mean, it's a dope as hell design. Plus the weight. I don't think I'd ever seen any weight that was like that, like the half piece on the back. I really liked that. Yeah,
thank
I
you.
really liked the whole board in general. It was heavy as hell too. I mean, like every time you put it on the desk, it makes the thunk.
Yeah, there was when I was the only time I regretted that was when I was packaging these keyboards. Like me and a few of my friends actually some friends from the Discord server, like Lee, Jan, Justin, and a couple of my other friends, Alex, were packaging these keyboards, and I was like, man, I wish this was lighter, because putting 100 of these, like putting them in the case, moving them to the other side, waiting for the UPS guy to come pick them up. It was a workout at least, but it was definitely a challenge moving those back and forth.
Oh man.
I wonder how the big boys do it. Do they like the people handling like many runs? Like surely somebody there is forklift certified, right? I've been trying to push for Kate to get forklift certified, but she refuses every time. It pisses me off.
Oh.
It'd be so helpful.
Yeah.
It would be helpful, yeah. Because we have some pretty big makers in Texas too. People who are on, very much exponentially higher scale of production than me. So, I imagine for them it would be prudent to become forklift certified.
Is it this one, Warhopper?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ooh, I love your keycaps on it. Actually, the beige on beige, very nice.
Yeah,
make it
thank
bigger.
you. Yeah.
Is that an R5 bottom row?
Yeah, it was OG double
Yay.
shots.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they were. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Is this the same one just with different key? No, that's never mind.
That is a collection of has a type.
Warhopper.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, dude. Look at all these boards. Oh my god.
Is that a Zenith?
Yeah, that's how it all began. Actually, is I got a Zenith from somebody.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
What type of boards do you like, Warhopper?
40s actually, but
Yeah.
yeah. No, I went down a rabbit hole with the XT boards. And I still have a ton of them. So
Yeah.
This dude.
That was funny, because I'm sure you remember this interaction, Warhopper, where like when I first like put the interest check for the Reflection in my own Discord, Jan and I, one of my friends from the Dallas area, from Tex Mechs, Jan, we were talking about it, and as soon as I dropped it, I was like, I gotta tell Warhopper about this. Like, I feel like he'll be the first person to look at this XT. Like, he's just gonna zoom into the XT column. The rest of the board doesn't matter. Like, it was just like, okay, yeah, this is good that we'll at least have one interested person here for this board because of that sole fact. So
Tell us the interaction, Warhopper. He said it before on a previous episode. Tell us what you.
I forget the exact wording, but I think actually Jan mentioned it last time the last podcast went up, that I was talking about that Matrix board, the Navi. I was like, man, I wish that this had an XT column and it would be perfect. And you had not yet announced
Bro, I
the
got you.
Reflection.
1 second.
And yeah, man, I think I said that, and you guys posted back and forth and then sent it to me after you announced the Reflection. I'm like, he's going to come when he sees this or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad it was well met for that reason. I also just like the layout. I liked the longer look, because initially when I was like thinking about Reflection, I was like, should I do like a TKL, or like, because I done a 60 twice, and so I was thinking, oh yeah, I was thinking about like how do I want to look at this, and I like I've always had a big desk. Like, one thing that I've always, so when I thought about it, I was like, I would really prefer like a longer, skinnier keyboard versus like a TKL type. So,
dude, wedge weight. That's sex right there. Oh,
wedge weight, yeah. I have one here too, physically.
Let me.
Hey, let's go.
Oh, snap.
All right. Warhopper and Farhan, how are you guys like dealing with the reality that like people have now innovated the option to like have the XT separate, but like you add it to the board? Like,
haven't been able
what
to do it.
now? Like, what?
So like they're like pogos. Is that how
Oh
they
no,
do it?
I dropped it in chat. If Hubert, you want to open it?
Yeah. Si, senor.
Uh, so
oh my
it's
god.
Oh
you
yeah,
can
yes,
add
yes, I did
XT
see.
when you don't have XT. So now you can actually get all the boards that you want and not be like, oh shit, if only it had XT, right?
Yeah.
Because you've always got the XT ready to go.
I did
How do you
see
feel
this,
about
yeah.
this conceptually?
You know, I've never been like a macro pad user, and I mean, I guess I consider this like a macro pad esque type of thing, but I do like it. I mean, I think it's nice to look at. It's very like the design is nice, very simple, very very wedge esque, and
I love how the first comment is Hubert.
yeah, Hubert, I've seen you very active on you're a geek hack main.
All I do is post like sussy messages and support messages.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
give
suck
any,
maxing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't give any sort of valuable feedback except for I buy or this is good.
I think that's good
what
enough
Geek
feedback
Hack-
for the runner.
That's,
Yeah.
that's what Geek Hack is. That's
Oh.
literally what Geek Hack is.
Yeah.
There's nothing else there. I mean, there's 40s users complaining about their lack of ISO split left shift support.
Yeah.
That's
what,
not a dig. That's just facts. I'm sorry.
hey, what is it about a wedge, Farhan, that you just enjoy?
It just it seems sturdy is a
Yeah.
good word. Sturdy. And I
It's
think
stable on the table.
stable on the table. Yep, exactly. I'm not so wedge boards are if you talk to my good friend CVLT, he from Texas, he's like that's his bread and butter, you know, like and I think a lot of people are like that as well, where that's like if they don't see that triangular shape, it's over, you know, they're not going to buy that board. I'm not that tied to it. I do like interesting side profiles, but I think when I feel like it's over engineered or like it's not really adding anything or it's not very cohesive to the rest of the board, then that's the only time where it kind of like puts me off to a keyboard, you know, where it just doesn't feel like it's kind of in theme with the rest of the keyboard. Or that it was just done for the sake of being done.
Shoot, that's what one of the many things that I liked about the glare boards, that giant ass wedge weight. Oh my god.
I know, and like we're so close to finishing the trio. We're so close.
Just
we
the top,
got
right?
exactly. We're so close to a full brass glare. We just need one more piece, and we've got a full brass glare.
Oh well.
Unfortunately, I don't own a glare anymore, so like Team Glare lost its like biggest advocate for just yelling at Gian all the time, be like, make more brass. I want brass. Make it in brass. Simon, it's stupid. Nobody's gonna want it. I don't care. Make it.
I'm sure that thing will be what, like 20 pounds or something at that point, right?
The upgraded with the brass weight as well as the brass mid piece was 6-ish kilos.
Oh gosh,
which is around about 14-ish pounds, maybe 15-ish.
That is
I
insane.
think with the brass top. I mean, the top isn't much material, so like max is going to be like another couple, another like 18, 20 pounds all in. It's nothing like the Wombat, the all brass Wombat, that's 27 kilogram Wombat. The only reason that I will ever go visit Australia, because like, why else would you visit Australia? There's fucking kangaroos walking around with fully automatic spiders that are gonna fucking take you down,
and they're jacked for whatever reason.
Yeah,
the Gian board is one of my favorite keyboards that I've owned. I don't own it anymore, but the W1AT, I love that board. It was a great board. I remember it was a funny story because me and some of the other folks from Dallas, we went out to like a pocha, like a Korean bar the night before, and then there was an announcement that like Gian was doing like a in stock sale at 8 a.m. And so, you know, very hungover, it felt horrible, but I got up at like 7:55, tried my luck, and then me and I think a couple of other folks from Tex Mechs had ended up getting the Navy one. It was one of the R1 buys. It was awesome. I really love that keyboard. It was a great buy, and I had it basically until I think I sold it only like a couple months ago, just because it was kind of starting to collect dust in my house. So
Kate Daly's my my W1 because she can't find her cipher, so she's just been using my W1 ever since she arrived here. Basically,
what happened to the cipher? It just can't be found.
I packed it with either her clothes or my clothes, and when we showed up, it was February, and we moved from Dubai, where it was like a bajillion degrees, so we didn't have any cold clothes. So we kind of just like bought clothes as we arrived here, and didn't really like go through our clothes. But we did go through our clothes, and like we don't know. But yeah, she's been using my W1. It's one of the most base boards of all. It's a good keyboard.
Warhopper, how do you feel about the W1? Do you have what are your thoughts on it?
I really like it. It was like I thought that would be kind of my end game for a little while, just because I really liked that design, and then ended up bolded the EE-AT, and I did like the raw one, and that honestly, that was peak W1 to me. I loved that thing quite a bit.
Yeah, I figured just by looking at the left side of it, you'd be like, "Yep, that's an insta buy for me."
Yeah, 100%. Is that where you got the feet for the reflection? Could you use the
it is, yeah. So I used, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So I like the Geon feet. One thing that I don't think I mentioned this in any of or maybe I did mention in some of the Geek Hack posts, but one thing I really don't like on keyboards is adhesives. Like, I'm not a huge fan of anything sticky or like a sticker or any like gaskets even. Obviously, it's a really good and easy way to put stuff on the board, but if you're building it several times, I was like, okay, I want to avoid this as much as humanly possible. So as soon as I saw Geon feet, like the press fit feet, I was like, yeah, this is instant addition to the design language. Just because they look nice and you can slap them on, take them off, etc. So
yeah, they're great for that reason. Did Juan from the Tex Mechs Discord get you to take the feet off the front of your W1?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, from like an acoustic perspective, I think if your keyboard sits too high because of the feet, it does make the sound a little bit worse. So
that's when you got to double mat it. You got to go full streamer mode and like quadruple mat it.
Oh god,
just your hands are sitting up here now because you have so many mats underneath the keyboard.
I think I've been there one time.
Oh my god, dude. Well, my last keyboard question. What are you up to now? If it's not keyboards at all, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I have been working on a design, and when I say working very loosely because it's been like several months, and I've made some progress. I do have a prototype of it. It's my first foray into
dude,
Alice style keyboards, and so I wanted to do like an Alice style, and then I have like the very kind of similar to the Reflection with like this weight here. So and then aside kind of wedgy.
You're gonna need to bleep that, Hubert.
The whole thing, everything?
Oh no, just the wait.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
God damn it.
No.
I'll bleep
Can't
mine.
say that. Yeah. Oh, and look, the Geon feet may make a return. But yeah. So I've been like, I made like the functional elements of it. I don't have any artwork or any inspiration from it yet, which is it's funny because like Reflection, this keyboard that I started with, I started with the inspiration, right? So like it's kind of like this board was like kind of like an homage to like I'm Bengali, so I'm from Bangladesh, and so when I went, I saw, you can see it there. And then like on the backside, there's like this little structure here, and so I saw that in person. I saw that in person when I went on a trip, and I was like, wow, like this would look really nice on a keyboard. And there was a little reflective pool in front of this structure that showed the reflection of the structure on it. So that was kind of how that one started. And then this current one, it doesn't even really have like a proper name yet. It's just like I've been calling it HANLICE just because it's made by me and there's an Alice. But then some of my friends were like, "Is that lice? Like you're saying HANLICE?" And I was like, "Okay, you're right. This is stupid. I'm gonna call it the keyboard that shall not be named for now, until I find a good working name, which I think will come with a proper theme." But yeah, this one was just like got bored, wanted to start another project, so I did. And I also really like I've really gotten into Alice style designs lately. I really like it. It took a little bit to get used to, but I think they look really nice. And they type good, they feel good.
Was that a world first premiere?
I think so, in any kind of like public setting. So it's it's not on Geek Hack yet. It's not Simon reviewed yet. It's not anything like that. So
Simon, we're blowing up.
Wait, oh shit, are we blowing up? We're blowing up.
Holy fuck, dude, that's amazing though. That's
yeah,
so cool.
yeah. So it's been, I like design work for me is like when I'm like, okay, the things like I want to fill my free time, but not with garbage and doing nothing. So this is kind of like my hobby away from the hobby. So
this will make sense when I get into the segue. Do you have a significant other right now?
No, not
Okay.
not at the moment. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what that means, everyone? Send it.
Send it. Please
Full
flood us
send.
DMs. Yep. No. Have you dated in the Texas scene? And again, this will make sense when I get to the segue.
Are you gonna make a joke about San Antonio women?
No. I'm not Charles Barkley.
Jeez, I have not actually. No, a lot of my really really close friends are from Tex Mex, but I have not dated in the Tex Mex hobby. So
okay, Warhopper, is your significant other from Texas?
Yeah.
Simon, you probably can pitch in too. I'm not saying you've ever dated someone from Texas, but just in general, you're a well traveled individual. I had a friend who lives in Texas. He married someone from Texas, a Texas lady, and he was telling me how Texas women specifically are very tuned into two things. He was like, well, my wife was like, as long as I keep their stomachs full and their balls empty, that's what gets them. Is this true, Warhopper and Simon too?
I think what keeps me is stomach full, and that's probably my problem. It's the reason I've gained weight, It's like I got in this relationship, gained 30 pounds. So
yeah.
Cholesterol went up,
as long as you're happy, right?
Yeah. I feel like that's an awesome, like, keep the stomach full and the balls empty, Simon. I mean, that's, how can you go wrong with that, right?
That is poetic.
Yeah. Should trademark it.
Yeah.
Well, shit, we got to do it right now. Just everybody got to say TM real quick.
TM.
All right, we got it.
How do you file a patent or a trademark?
It's about $290.
Okay, I'm deleting that. I don't know. Too much money.
Can that be the new URL for friend or good keyboard friend suggestions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stomachfullballsempty.com.
Yeah.
No, the Texas community, the mechanical keyboard community in general, what makes you guys so awesome? Because we've had many of you guys on. Sterling, Khalil. I mean, I know he's in Oregon now, but I mean, he was in Texas. So many awesome individuals in Texas, part of this huge community. Why are you so awesome, both of you? What makes the community awesome? Yeah. What do you think?
For me, like, so I started the hobby, and just as like I started the hobby as like a Reddit / Geek Hack lurker, right? So I didn't have any friends that were like, didn't have any friends from Tex Mex going into keyboards like that. Like I had a friend he wasn't in Tex Mex, he just cared, like keyboards, and he's the one that introduced me. And then he like pretty quickly stopped doing keyboard stuff, so then it just became me, which is fun for a little bit. I got to like just put in my headphones, build keyboards, not have to interact with people. But then I I wanted to trade, and I'm like, I should have probably thought about this a little bit more because I can't remember what board I exactly traded or what I bought from him. But a user GetDat from Tex Mechs, I bought something from him, and then I think we like met up in a Kroger parking lot or something, like something kind of sketchy and shady. But he was like, hey, like we were just talking about keyboards, and he was kind of just shooting the shit a little bit, and then he was like, hey, like if you are ever interested, like we do kind of regular meetups. And I think at this point he was hosting a lot of the Dallas meetups. And so he was like, just join the server. And then I did. And then honestly, after that, for a long time, I would just like ask questions. People would respond. It was a very active server, I think, like the entirety of the time that I've, been in this hobby. And since I joined the server, which it must have been 4 or 5 years ago now, it's always been active. People come and go, but there's a lot of people that are continuously active. And I think it's just been so nice because I feel like it's not necessarily about like, let's talk keyboards, but it's also like people like, let's be friends. Like, let's hang out. Like, let's get together. Dallas is like colloquially known as like the real food channel in our Discord server. And it's because everyone is always eating good all the time. And we meet up, I think we meet up way more to eat and chat than we do for keyboards, which I think is great. And so it kind of like, it was incepted with like love of keyboards, but it ended up just becoming like a group of adult friends, which I think is always harder to make whenever you get older, right? So it was very easy like to kind of hang out with people and become like really close buddies. So.
No, that's awesome. That's what we experience after every meetup, right, Simon? After the Minnesota one, after the Milwaukee one, like in the after party, we just talk about, like breast milk or like non-keyboard related topics.
Yeah, so breast milk and nothing else. Yeah.
It's the natural segue, right, from keyboards.
Yeah.
Well,
what's your input? Oh, sorry, Simon.
No, I'm good.
No, you had something to say about breast milk. What were you gonna say?
I promise. I had everything I have had to say about breast milk is already public knowledge. There's no more I need to say.
Okay. Warhopper, what makes you guys so awesome? What makes the community so awesome?
I think it's pretty diverse just because it's hot as hell outside during the summer. So what the hell else are you going to do? Yeah, I don't know. I guess a lot of people were willing to meet up and do stuff, right? Like you said, like people would go out to eat and everything. That's the same as it is in Houston, right? Is that there's a bunch of people that meet up and go out to eat, or they had meetups for a little while more regularly. I think people are just really willing to meet up. Maybe we're used to driving longer distances because everything's like an hour away. So it's just like a little more common.
How far is Houston to Dallas? Oh, that's
like 4-ish hours.
Yeah, 4-ish.
Depending, well, like Houston to Dallas could be 3.5 hours, or it could be 6 hours because Houston is like half the continent basically. So Dallas isn't as bad in terms of like surface area, but it still is like, I mean, you could drive 45 minutes and still be in quote unquote Dallas. But
oh wow,
yeah.
When's the next Tex Mechs meetup? Next, I mean, obviously not this year because it's like November, but next year maybe. Or
yeah, we had talked about doing one next year. You're talking about like a big one or like yeah. We haven't really discussed too much. I think especially what happened when we first did Roundup, and maybe we can talk about that a little bit too, is like it was a very daunting, and it was a huge challenge. So I think after that we kind of went back to our roots of these like mini meets / like regular size meets, which I think is another reason that the Tex Mex community is so good, because I know, I mean, Houston and Dallas I think are the most frequent when it comes to like actual like keyboard meetups. So for a long time we would work with this roastery, like a roastery in Carrollton, which is like the one suburb of Dallas, and they were like, in the beginning we kind of just like unofficially took over like one corner of their space, and they never really, they never had a problem with it. But then when we got big enough, when like 40 or 50 people started showing up, they were like, hey, you're scaring the other customers. They see 40 people like surrounded and huddled by these like PC input devices, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to be frequenting this place anymore. But luckily they have like a third floor area, which is like this big open kind of like there's like giant floor to ceiling windows and like a projector and everything. So for a long time we used that as like our like meetup base. So we would like very regularly, I think at least every couple months or 3 months, would have um like 80 to 100 people, and we would just kind of like have, so like those kind of meetups we would do like very, very often. And then with Roundup, and then I think after that, like I think the Dallas chapter at least felt a little bit of that burnout of like hosting meetups. So it's been slow for a while, but I think next year it'll probably start to pick up, and that's when we'll have, this is a long-winded way to say that next year we'll probably start to plan one of the bigger ones again.
We Simon and I noticed, I mean, it does make sense. It like when you look at it, when Hoff was dealing or working with the Milwaukee meetup, you could tell he was, a bit stressed because there was a lot of things to do, as opposed to grabbing 20 or 30 friends and just meeting up at a coffee shop. The bigger ones, you need to think about sponsors maybe, or like other things. So I guess I do understand. I mean, the big ones have their charm because obviously a lot of people come over, but there's more involved into it versus just like, hey, this Saturday, let's get 20 people and just meet up at a coffee shop or something. So
Yep. Yeah. It was when we did the first one, like not only was it the biggest keyboard related thing it was the biggest like event that I had ever been a part of, because I think there were maybe 300 plus people. I can't remember the exact amount, but like planning started 9 months in advance, and it was tough because it was a lot of work, and I but I feel like the organization was really, really well done. Like we had a lot of people involved, and the way that everybody kind of came together and worked on something that is truly extracurricular, right? Like none of us are being paid for this. None of us are, getting anything out of it besides like the sense of camaraderie and bringing a lot of people together. It was really nice to see how much effort and time people had spent on this. And like all of us working together as a team. We basically had everything separated into different committees, and like the committee that I was responsible for was the sponsor outreach committee. So that was the one where, like you mentioned, like we had to get sponsors from all over just to kind of help us with this kind of stuff. And the nice thing is, there's a lot of Texas-based sponsors that showed up. We had a lot of folks come in from like all parts of Texas, and then even outside of Texas, the people that couldn't come in, they would at least donate some stuff, which is awesome.
It might be against his will, but Simon and I are definitely, hopefully, possibly making a Texas meetup.
Oh no.
Yeah, you should. Well, the next one is coming up in less than a month, so I don't know if you want to plan for that, but
no, I mean, I'm going down to North Carolina later this month to see family, so for Thanksgiving.
In relation to Thanksgiving, can you guys help me explain to Warhopper why he should play old school RuneScape?
You want me to go? You want to go, Simon? Or?
Well, sailing Warhopper, ladies and gentlemen. November 19th, sailing comes out. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't know if it's good or bad. I never played alpha. I never played beta, but hey, it's a new skill. So
I mean, I'll eventually be able to do that skill once it's like, incredibly well documented, and I make sure that there's no way I'm going to gain any combat experience this fucking time.
He did the Barbarian Assault Agility course, and he has 2 strength now on his skiller.
Farhan. Oh no! Oh, you were running a peer for I guess you were until you did that. So that sucks.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, here, let me.
Farhan, do you play RuneScape as well?
I do. Yeah, it was actually when Hubert and I first started talking about this interview. It was something, because if you look at my Discord username, you'll notice that like it's consistently says like playing Runelight, and I promise I'm not actually playing that much. It's just like I have the thing on in the background. But I RuneScape is one of those things where like I've been playing RuneScape for like 20 years, like 2/3 of my life, but not like consistently 20 years, right? Like I started when I was in middle school, and then we would basically I would basically play kind of nonstop, and then take a long break, and then play again nonstop. So I played at the ages of like 10, and then again at 15, and then again at 20, 25, 30. So because I have this very bad habit with video games where I like if it's too open, then I just stop playing, and then I'm like, I'm never gonna finish this. But RuneScape is nice because you can do that and then come back 5 years later, and your account's still there, all your stuff is still there, and I like seeing numbers go up. So that's the main thing.
Dude, Farhan, check out my account. I put it in chat.
Yeah, let's see.
What's this?
Oh no, the 97 XP puts you over the edge. That's horrible.
Oh man.
Wow. I see. Yeah, I was thinking. I was like, what's Slayer going to be at with one attack and one defense? But 61 is really impressive with the stats that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
that's an Iron Man, by the way.
Wow, that's intense. I don't have.
I'm still gonna max it. Like for me, 2 strength doesn't matter. I'm still level 3, so I don't really give a shit. But you know. Maybe 2026. Maybe that's going to be the year I max my Iron Man finally.
There you go. That's your resolution. Get that done. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm a pretty casual player, I think. I only run, I run a normal main, no Iron Man business or anything. I'm just getting my stats up. Currently in the middle of doing a bunch of quests, which is kind of a drag, but it's there.
What's the saying? You never quit RuneScape, you just go AFK.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That hit me in the feels one day. But what was the first memory you had of RuneScape? What do you remember the first untradeable you had? Because I was yo-yo guy. That was when I first started, like 2004.
First untradeable. So my account, I was called Vegito095. Dragon Ball Z reference. So first untradeable. Well, I have a good memory now. It was a bad memory for a long time. I attempted the fight caves when I was a kid. As you, I mean, I was like 10 and it did not go well. And it was like I remember being like, I really want this fire cave like really badly. And then I just did it like a month ago. And that was like, I just finally finished the fight caves like a month ago. So that's like my best memory of like going back to, if I could go back and time travel to like my 10-year-old self, I'd be like, yeah, you suck. And I have this and you don't. So yeah,
Dude, did your hands get sweaty when you were fighting Jad?
The Jad hands are real. Yep. I was
dude, I have Jad hands right now just talking about Jad. My hands are sweaty just talking about Jad. And like I've done so many fucking Jads, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
My hands still get sweaty every time.
It's
shit, my mouse fucking like ran out of battery last time I was doing the fight caves, and I had enough time to like look for the cable, plug in the cable.
Oh my god.
I'll tab back to my screen, put on the correct prayer.
No, I would have died like before even thinking about doing that,
His prayer went off and then his HP slowly went down and he still got back in time. It was so crazy. It was like 2 hours into the stream. Oh my god.
Impressive.
Yeah. Well, Warhopper, it's like this boss in order to get this really cool cape, and it has a lot of good stats, the cape does.
Okay.
But if you pray incorrectly and you don't have enough HP or you're just unlucky, you can get one shot. So imagine spending like 1 to 2 hours doing this PvE thing only to lose at the very end and not getting anything out of it. Like,
okay, yeah, I can see how that would be stressful.
Oh
yeah,
god.
so and then there's like an upgraded version of that called the Inferno. So in place of like 2 hours, it's probably like 200 hours of learning and preparation that all go into like the moment.
Yeah. It's very frustrating too, because you get to like the 2 hour mark and you get to the final boss and then you lose and then you have to restart from the very beginning. So it's another 2 hours, another 2 hours. I think I got it on like my 3rd attempt, but so that was like 6 hours across 2 days, and I was like, this is so annoying. And it's just so demoralizing when you get there and then you lose like because of some dumb mistake.
I hate it. We hate it and we love it, right? RuneScape. Love hate. Are you have you ever played RuneScape Warhopper?
I think in like middle school we would like go to the public library and play it, but we were like level 7. like we were nothing.
You were just chopping trees and shit.
Yeah, just chopping trees. People would say they'd drop you stuff. Just got to drop them gold or whatever, and they'd trick you and win all. And it was like the worst thing ever. So,
we all learned like real basic like red flag signals when it comes to transactions that non-RuneScape players never fucking picked up. I've never gotten scammed in my life.
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, that's like a good intro to like just a little bit of security on yourself. It's like, don't trust any of these people in the online game.
Yeah, if somebody tells me to drop my wallet and they'll double my cash, I know I'm not. It's not going to work. You can't trick me. I'm keeping my wallet with a pin on it.
I know there were adults playing back in the day, but can you just imagine how devious the little kids, like the other little kids, are to scam you out of your things? Like,
yeah,
holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing you've ever done, Farhan, in RuneScape?
Oh yeah, when you said yeah, it was funny because you didn't say in RuneScape at first, and I was like, okay, this is getting really deep. Yeah, yeah, it's like I'm not gonna admit to murder on the podcast. I'm sorry. The worst thing I've ever done in RuneScape, actually, it is. I remember this. I don't know if it's that bad because I don't necessarily consider this my fault, but it kind of is, and it's actually fight caves related. Because I told one of my really good friends is that like, hey, like, the fight caves is it's a safe death. If you die there, nothing, you keep your stuff. And I guess he assumed that meant not just inside the instance, but also like the entire area underneath the volcano. And so he like was fighting. Yeah. What do you call those? Like the orange guys? You know who I'm talking about? The actual.
Whatever.
Yeah, like the citizens that hang out there. He died. He lost his stuff, and I was like, I probably should have clarified that it's actually like in the instance itself and not like the entire area that you see. So I did feel bad, but at the end of the day, I mean, whatever. I don't really. I'm not like a huge social RuneScape player. Like I interact a decent amount, but I'm not like not enough to scam, and I don't PvP that much either. So
yeah. Oh man, it pales in comparison to an episode that will come out eventually. What me, Simon, and Chippy have done, in our RuneScape careers.
Yeah, I think like half of that video is just gonna be like
I bleep so much, dude.
Bleeps.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I don't want to leave him out. Warhopper, what is the worst thing you've done, like video games wise?
Okay.
I like to troll a little bit in online shooters. A lot of like playing Left 4 Dead and waiting to the end and then just randomly proposing people to be kicked and then seeing if people will kick. Just based on that, or like, Counter-Strike, just being like one of the worst players, but then being like, it's all your fault and just picking a random player to troll on the team. Gonna have a little bit of social interaction.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Let's kick him before he gets the loot or like the credit, so he can't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
It's so fucking mean.
Yeah, Warhopper, come on. No. My last question before we get to the good keyboard friend of the week segment. But before, Farhan, you, Simon, Chippy, and Carl from Divinity, OSRS episode 2026 for the nerds, us nerds.
Maybe it'll be my maxing party. I literally just need 3 herb levels and I'm maxed.
Oh.
Gotta get that herb, huh?
And I have the herbs. I just need to do the fucking activity for the 45-ish remaining hours.
This is a question I forgot to ask Simon and Warhopper when we recorded the video game episode. But I remembered like after the fact. But in terms of keyboards, it doesn't have to be keyboards themselves. It could be just the community. Farhan, what has keyboards done for you in your life or the keyboard community? Like it's a very broad question. Hopefully it's done a lot of positives, but just in general, man, what has it done for you?
It's actually like, I'm glad you asked that, because now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like a lot. There's been a lot that I feel like, I mean, the obvious is coming from like a design side. So gathering those skills that I would have never gotten in the first place. Like obviously like design, like keyboard case design, but also PCB design. That's something like I don't have an electrical engineering background. I don't have any kind of electrical background. So it was really cool to get those skills that I would have otherwise like been very oblivious to. And also just then like realizing like how PCBs work, how input devices work. So those were like the hard skills, I think, and getting into design. It was very cool to like kind of let my creativity take over, because there haven't been a lot of areas in my life, like hobby wise, that I've been able to do that, to express creativity in a way. So that was really cool. And then I think more importantly, soft skills. I think, like we mentioned, we talked about Roundup. I did a lot of the speaking for it, which I used to like. I don't necessarily consider myself a great public speaker, but I think it's nice to like develop that. And it was cool to like go on stage and like 300 people in front of you. You gotta kind of try to be funny. You got to try to be responsible. Tell them that like, here are the exits, don't die, things like that. And just being able to make new friends, and I feel like that was a big thing too, because making new friends is obviously hard, but it's very easy when it comes to Tex Mex, and you have this like shared interest and love of keyboards. And I feel like there are times where myself and some of the other people from Dallas would just like talk for hours about random keyboard stuff, and then devolve into something more heinous or something stupider. And yeah, I feel like it's done a lot for me, I think, in terms of like personal growth. And I feel as though it's just been like very helpful to have this kind of outlet at this point in my life, to have these things that I can rely on, and be like, yeah, this is always going to be a hobby of mine, even if I'm not like fully invested into it.
You guys are awesome. Texas community is awesome. I posed the same question to you, Warhopper. What has keyboards or the keyboard community done for you? And then Simon at the end. I know you've said it, Simon, but I just want to include you as well. But yeah, Warhopper. I'm leaving that in.
I would say for mine, I think more than anything, it's probably the same thing about making friends and talking to people out of like different backgrounds. As an adult, it's really hard to find something that like you have in common that people want to talk about, and then you kind of go into other topics that you really like. I remember talking about guns a lot on the Texas Discord with a guy that used to be around, Wallet Burner.
Yeah.
What do you mean used to be around? Wait, did Wallet Burner leave?
At least that Discord. I don't see him around anymore at all.
He may. I don't think he's just active in our server that much anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I remember talking about that with him, or, the meetups where you just talk about other things, not even keyboard related. I remember the Tex Mechs Roundup. I talked to people about a wide variety of things like music or old computers or computer builds and stuff. Just kind of a great point to meet people, especially as like I've been thinking about lately that it's like really hard to branch out and actually meet new people in doing something. So yeah.
Simon, you know Wallet Burner?
Yeah. I mean, he was in Mankey's Discord. He's in Geek Hack. I know Wallet Burner.
Oh, wow. I sometimes I forget, ladies and gentlemen, how clouded Simon is, or like how much of an OG he is, because he's very approachable.
You know what? I was thinking about this very thing earlier.
Oh yeah?
When Farhan was talking about the adventures he went through to get a W1, and I was all like, I just got shipped one. I didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
I helped make it, but like still, that's the secret. You just got to have your fingers in all the pies. That's what I do. I involve myself. I got a lot of fingers in a lot of pies, and it's been very beneficial. Do
you sometimes use 2 fingers for one pie, or it's always like you have to be separate?
It depends on the color of the pie, Your Honor.
W1 seems like a 2-finger. That's that kind of pie for sure. Yeah.
I mean, okay, to be fair, like I hardly helped with the W1. I chose where the mounting points were. That is all I did. I did nothing else. I told Gion, put it here, 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 put it here. And that was it.
Is that
I mean,
all
it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have mine. I've always had mine top mounted. Very nice. I like it a lot.
I bet you told Gian where to put it.
Yeah, I told him put it there, all the places. Yeah.
Same question to you, Simon. I know you've said it many times, meeting Kate and stuff, but yeah, what has the keyboard community done for you?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm sitting in this chair, but prior to me sitting in this chair, there was a box or something on this chair. Let me just quickly grab that box just for context.
Yeah. I hope I don't have to bleep this.
So I ordered some switches recently.
Oh my god.
Some switches. That is like a lot of switches.
I mean, if you've ever vendored multiple thousands of switches, this is 1,000. This is a case of 1,000. These are all that's 1,000 looped Gat Raws. This whole thing was $90.
Oh wow, for 1,000?
Yeah, it was 9 cents. I mean, I got dicked on tariffs real hard, but we're not counting that. But 9 cents each. It was Gion's Thoctober sale. Even though I didn't reach out to any vendors this year to do Thoctober sales, Gian is just a gangster and just always does a sale for Thoctober.
Oh my!
And so yeah, this is like a good it's like a good 6 pounds of switches.
9 cents each.
What has keyboards done for me? I mean, besides just the copious amount of switches and just content, bro, it's so good. Keyboards are so good, dude. I love keyboards. I love keyboards so much. You know, I've been getting back into running group buys again. Right, I'm looking at different models of ice cream machines, seeing which one I like the best. Not quite set yet, but I mean, does the CCRX count? I don't think so. That's a private buy.
Yeah.
I'm not actually doing real projects until 2026, but you better watch out. 2026 is going to be the year of the Black Simon. It's going to be big. We're going to NWO 5000 all over everybody's faces. I'll have you know that that the Gondo literally has sent the message, I think I figured it out.
Oh, that's a good message to get.
Before the big group buy, have you decided what kind of Porsche you're going to get? You a 911, a Cayman guy?
Honestly,
yeah?
I'm pretty pragmatic when it comes to buying shit generally. I'm looking for an 01 to 03 Boxster because they're basically just a cheaper and better Miata. They're a bitch to work on in comparison to a Miata, but it's cheaper and better than any Miata you can get because Miatas are fucking 10 grand or some nonsense. You could get these for 5 under 70,000 miles. Yeah. I'd say that's a pretty good fucking deal, dude. I'd take that. And it's a reasonable car. I'm not out there I would never buy a brand new car. Anybody that buys a brand new, unless you're buying it for a business to take advantage of the depreciation or something, fine. But if you are a consumer and you are buying a new car, what the fuck is wrong with you? Buying a new watch, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What if it's not your money though?
Yeah,
what if it's group buy funds?
It's group buy funds that you use. Yeah.
That literally doesn't even compute to me. I'm running a private buy right now, and I opened a second bank account just to make sure that all the correct money is in the correct place, just in case oh no, I go and spend $5 of it on my phone plan by accident. Yeah. But no, I've just been every time I get a payout from Stripe, I move it into a second account that's labeled with the project name. Yeah. So it just doesn't compute for me.
All right.
I don't know how it works.
Good.
I need to hire somebody. I need to hire somebody to I don't know, to look at the Porsches that I need and to figure out the ice cream machines.
Yeah.
I love it though. I love it. That was a joke, obviously, for those of you that can't don't understand sarcasm that well. No. The good keyboard friend. Why do we like good keyboard friends, Warhopper? Why do we like them?
Because they make a difference in your life.
That's the greatest thing you ever could have said. Oh my god.
Succinct and very poetic.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude. That was good, Simon. Let's can we replace me for Warhopper?
Can we replace me with Warhopper too?
You get his spine, and I get his handsome face.
We're literally gonna pull the stereotypical like small to medium sized business where they lay off 8 people and make one person do that 8 people's jobs. And like by the skin of their teeth, they could barely keep the company alive long enough for, you know, the person running the company to like run the company into the ground, cough. It's not like this has happened like 8 times with companies I've worked for.
Yeah.
You should do that. We should do that. We need to absolutely do that. We milk it. We take all the money, right? We buy all the fucking ice cream machines, all right? We can get an ice cream machine for me, an ice cream machine for you, Hubert. Farhan, we can get you 2 fucking ice cream machines, dude. I know it's hot over there.
Yeah. I'll need that. Yeah.
I love it.
It's funny. I did just buy one as a gift for my brother for his birthday, and when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, like if somebody looks at my bank statements from like a keyboard perspective, they're like, oh shit.
You gotta post it out of context, just to like if I had purchased or even walked past an ice cream machine, I would have taken a picture of it and been like, guys, what do you guys think?
It was the Ninja Creamy on Amazon. Apparently, it's really good. Yeah. So.
Is it the same ninja that does the blenders and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then it's probably good.
AKB James has a bunch of recipes with the Ninja Creamy, like incredible ones, and he's been making me want to buy it. But
are you saying that James is a creamy ninja?
Yeah,
and he's making you want to what?
He wants me to make the cream myself.
Well, you should. Yeah, you gotta. It's important.
Yeah.
You gotta get exclamation creamy.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Oh my god. Do you ever just say that? Okay, like this has obviously happened to all of us, where you say something out loud with your mouth that's only meant to be like typed out, like lol or something.
You said exclamation. What did you say?
I said exclamation creamy as I like was spreading cream cheese on the toast to make Kate breakfast.
Yeah, and then they're just like, "What are you talking about? Like this is."
Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. What did Kate say? What does Kate's like the look on her face?
I don't think she realized what was going on, or like I stopped myself before like I fully said it or something. But guys, if you're in my Discord, you could just do exclamation creamy, and it's what is it? Oh, it's not what I think it is.
Uh-oh. What is it?
It's just like it's like an original like out of context like quote of somebody. Like Thwompy or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever say exclamation creamy or some sort of Twitch command in real life, if you've ever bought a Ninja ice cream creamy maker or a Porsche or anything, and there's others that have helped you in this endeavor, please nominate them. And how do we nominate people, Simon? How do we nominate good keyboard friends to be shouted out at the end of every episode?
You go to fbi.gov/tip and you start by first leaving a physical description of the individual. No, you go to hugemeatbox.com. It's like this, but like huge. It's a huge meat box. All right. Hugemeatbox.com. There's a whole bunch of links there to, where you can find our podcast, where you can, I don't know, just
I'm
do
worried.
all sorts of things.
I'm worried. Okay. I
The
thought you were
very
going
first
to pull
link
up, yeah.
is a Google form to submit your good keyboard friend nominees. And if you click that form, the wildest thing you've ever seen in your life happens. You can't show them, Hubert. You cannot show them what happens.
Okay.
All right? But you got to click it. And that's all I could say.
Farhan, who is your good keyboard friend this week, or good keyboard friends nominations?
Yeah, I will. I mean, I have a ton of them, but like one person that I want to shout out is my friend Jan. I don't know if you guys have met him. Warhopper, I know you know him. So funny story, like similar to how I met Get Dat from Tex Mechs. I met Jan the same way. I have what I would call poor hand-eye coordination. And so I can't desolder things myself. I still am like very bad at it, like desoldering. It is not a skill of mine. And so, yeah, that is a scary object to me.
Wait, really? No, this is the easy object. You just press the trigger.
Well, I actually have one, but I think mine is busted. Like mine is like clogged or something.
Okay.
I need to fix
Warhopper.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta, because this thing is like, this is life-changing for soldering, because you only need the one hand. You don't need to like focus. You don't need to aim.
Yeah.
Mostly,
Mostly, right. But yeah, I posted in the Dallas chat and I was like, hey, can anybody desolder my switches for me? And I think he got it done within a day. Like he messaged me and then he got it done within a day. And then over time we just started talking about stuff, and he ended up being like one of my closest friends. He's very good at photography. He's the creative media director for Han Boards. Any picture that you see of my keyboards are all from him. So he is 100% a good keyboard friend.
Did you just give him that title so it could be CMD? Or
yeah, exactly. On the spot, if you will believe that. But yeah, I mean, the whole like Tex Mechs, there's so many people that I think I regularly hang out with. But Nainaigogo, I don't know if you guys have had her on, or if you've talked to her yet.
I reached out to her and she said she was just retired from.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, she's also one of my earliest keyboard friends, and also like a really sketchy thing that happened. Like I traded her like a Grid 650 Glacier 80 trade, like, all very, older keyboards. And we met up in Austin, and then we just started talking. And then she ended up being also like a longtime friend of mine. That like, it's just so weird that you like meet these people through like these transactional things, and then they ended up becoming like some of your closer friends. But like in Dallas, like I hang out with like a lot of people regularly. Like they come over, we'll like go eat up. So like Lee, Fapplecider, Snekysnek, and I said this at the beginning. The only reason this is taking me more than 2 seconds to remember people's names is because I usually use their governmental name. Like I don't really say their Discord username out loud, so that's why it's taking me some time. But like Matthewdias, CVLT, Kaptain Mike, and Muji Manic. I know you guys have already had him on, but from like a friend standpoint, and also like another designer, like just some of the creative work he's done is like very like, okay, there's more to this than just trying to make money and like trying to sell a product to somebody. But if you actually put your heart and soul and stuff, then you get really, really good product out. And so him, Blindassassin, not Dallas, but another designer. He's awesome. And then I want to give we don't talk very much, but in terms of their Reflection, I don't know if you guys know OCM, One Creative Mind. I know he's done a lot of artwork for a lot of different boards, but just randomly, like he's from Austin. I don't know if he's back in Texas. I know he left for a while, but when I first had the artwork for the Reflection, it was just like one of my friends, she had drawn me the artwork. Like she had done it in like Procreate or something, but like it wasn't vectorized, so like it's not something that I could just put on the back of a keyboard. And so I think I ran into OCM at like a meetup one week. This was years ago. And I told him, I was like, yeah, like I have this artwork. He was like, oh, it looks really cool. And I was just like, yeah, I got to find somebody to vectorize it. And he was like, oh, just send it to me. And then like I sent it to him, and just like a few weeks later, he sent me this like beautifully done scalable SVG file that I could slap in a CAD design. And just like, it was so nice, and it's obviously something he didn't have to do. And I was very, very grateful. And then, Elaeagnifolia, Kimlynnwyn, all these people are really, really close friends of mine, and we hang out very often. So shout out to Dallas. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody. Love you guys. And Warhopper, obviously the rest of Tex Mechs too. I have a lot of good friends from outside of Dallas, but those are the people that I just see very often.
Thank you. I really want to say thank you to the three of you. Simon, for always being there. He, even when he's in crippling back pain, he doesn't want me to be left alone, even though I say it's totally fine. So if I interview someone or we have someone on the podcast, he tries and makes it whenever possible. I appreciate it, man.
I mean, this is my first social experience since quitting smoking. I skipped group buy reviews for like the first time in like years.
Oh.
Like on the spot, where I'm just like, boys, I'm pushing it to next week because like,
yeah,
I need a couple days.
Yeah,
like, I'm way better now. I'm chilling.
Emerging as a new person.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm just trying to like, I'm trying to like dial back the fact that I want to just like ravenously chew and bite on everything.
Oh,
I don't know. It's real bad. I feel like a rabid dog or something.
Oh. Well, thank you, man. Like seriously. and also Warhopper. I reached out to Warhopper because daylight savings time kind of cucked everything, as sometimes it does for those that don't live in the U.S., specifically maybe Taiwan or Denmark. So the times got kind of out of whack, and James and Tangus are, they have other things going on, which is totally fine. So I reached out to Warhopper. I was like, another fellow Texan, someone we've had on as an actual guest, as an actual guest co-host. He has a reflection. He's awesome. He knows Farhan. Thank you, Warhopper, for taking 1.5 hours out of your Sunday morning, man, to hang out with us. Like, you're amazing. You make these episodes so easy, man. You're so awesome, dude. So
I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you. And then, of course, Farhan. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we'll have him on OSRS in 2026. Maybe the giant Tex Mechs episode where we have like 10 people on from the Tex Mechs community.
It's always bigger in Tex Mex.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Yeah. Thank you, dude. Yeah. Thank you for getting on here for an hour and a half of your time as well, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. I think this is awesome. What you guys are doing. I don't think I asked you like how, or if we have time for a question from me to you. How did you guys like get started with the Good Keyboard Friends podcast?
Oh, that's a good question. I joked about this earlier about the availability, but for people that don't know or don't see past Simon's stream persona or just persona in general, he's super helpful. And he reminds me of a good friend in terms of humor and just like personality as well. Like we say some things that are not supposed to be said on air, and things that we can't say on air, like privately and things like that. But he's just a good dude. I felt like it would be fun to have a group of good friends. Like, I wasn't a good friend with Simon when we started this. It was just like an acquaintance. But I'm like, if I'm starting something like this, I know having Simon would be fucking awesome because I get to talk to him, hang out with him. From my perspective, it was two things. The first thing was just to hang out with friends. I knew James before, Masterwork, Taiwanese James. I considered him a good friend, but yeah, it's just hang out with friends for us, and also hearing about what other people in the community were all about. Like the accessibility thing. I'm so grateful that all you guys, or almost every single person, is so accessible. Everybody is so humble. You ask someone, hey, what is this or what is that, or like, can you help me with this or that? And if they're able to help, they help. Like, that's fucking awesome. Regardless of you being in a keyboard community or anything, like it shows how much character you have. So having those people on, like, oh, I wonder if we could get Farhan on to talk about this or that. Let's ask him, because I'm sure a lot of people have the same question. Like, oh, we want to hear about Farhan. We want to hear about the lore and things like that. So I'm like, let's make a podcast. And then so I reached out to Simon and the other two.
So we got a season 2. We got an episode 2 for all the lore then.
Yeah.
The forbidden lore.
All the lore.
I can even throw in some of the Simon forbidden lore.
Yeah, man. It's just a hangout with friends, and to meet people and talk and just hang out, and things like that. So that was my reason. I don't know why Simon agreed. Simon, why did you agree?
I'm just in it for the money. I'm in it for the copious fat stacks of dollar bills that
for the coffee sponsorships.
I'm supposed to be getting paid for this, right?
With that, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Thank you guys. This is awesome. Can't wait for future ones. If you do a RuneScape one, call me. If you do a Texas one, call me. And I will be watching regardless. So,
on behalf of myself, Simon, Tangus, James, and Warhopper, thank you, Farhan, and talk to everybody later. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you, guys. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.